This is Valheim. It's sort of like a survival game. There's less emphasis on exposure to the elements and keeping your character fed as focus on like crafting and like finding new resources, finding new areas of the map and exploration. How far are you into the game? Well, my character has been to the end of the game and the end of the world, beaten all of the bosses, but the server that we were originally building on, that server got lost to time. It got deleted and all of our buildings and everything got deleted. Luckily, the characters didn't. I got to keep all of my armor and I rebuilt a bunch of stuff relatively quickly, but the new base is bigger. It's not necessarily as cool as the original one. So I think today what I'm going to be doing is exploring these uncharted swaths of land. This was Jean-Luc and I were killing time one night and we decided to do like a great wall. I don't really feel like finishing it. Funny enough, I actually had a dream that they added horses to Valheim. I read up recently on like what's coming with Hearth and Home and like basically the news that they have around that. And how the launch has been stalled. Hearth and Home, by the way, if you guys are unfamiliar, is supposed to be like the first major content patch for Valheim. It's focusing more on, as the name would suggest, it's focusing more on like the kinds of things that you could do from your base. So basically last week, they were like, hey, everyone, we're sorry this is taking longer than we originally thought. With the huge volume and the demand on the servers currently, they've basically discovered like thousands of new problems that they didn't have when they were just a few thousand people playing the game. And now that there are millions of people playing the game and the servers are like cracking under that load, they're having to go back and redo some of their code, I guess, or whatever happens with game stuff. What they did to make up for that is they're like, all right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to unveil some things that we have more or less figured out now. So one of the big things is that you have crafting stations in the game that allow you to craft certain things. You can attach like add-ons, like extra tools to those crafting stations to either upgrade things or get access to making new things. So one of the things that they're doing is that they're adding the add-ons, they're adding those to like some of the cooking stations that they have in the game that previously didn't have any like add-ons. And they're adding like more food, they're adding more recipes, and they're sort of revisiting the way that your food benefits your character. Because basically when your character eats food, you get a certain amount of stamina regen, health, and health regen. They're going to take another look at the way that the food works in the game right now so that you can pick and choose like a diet for your character that will maximize stamina for gathering or health for combat, or finding like a balance of those two. I mean, it's the only survival game that I've really, truly, fully enjoyed. I've played Ark and stuff like that, and I did enjoy playing Ark, but I enjoyed it because of the people I was playing with. Ark, to me, just felt really incredibly tedious. Yeah. Wait a second. Would that be stupid, putting like small gates here? You know what? I'm not going to do that. That does feel stupid. The base is so massive that I actually don't really need to enclose the whole thing anymore. I don't really think I'm going to lose very much if I just like venture out into the wilderness and just kill a bunch of stuff. Hey, here we go. 9 turnip seeds. Now we plant turnips. Cool. I feel like I should have like a light up there. I feel like, there we go. I'm going to get bogged down in building stuff probably during this live stream at some point. So this is a mountain biome here. I've got a lock's cloak, I think, so I think I can go up there. I haven't hopped back on the server. I haven't hopped back into Valheim in 3 or 4 weeks. I could really regret going up into the mountains and dying and losing all of my gear really quickly to see if I have any Certling cores at the base, because if I do, I want to bring some materials with me to hopefully put like a forward portal. Oh, hey, there's one Certling core, which is not going to get me very far. The only other thing I might do is I might just like take a ship and just find a completely different island. But even that, I don't want to do that until I can find enough materials to make another portal. I guess that's that for now. All right, we're going to summit the mountain for better and probably for worse, though. Okay, let the regret set in. Luckily, this mountain is not really that tall. There's some wolves. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. And the wolves are close enough to my original base that I may be able to lead them over there and domesticate them, maybe. I'll think about it. For now, I don't need these ones alive. Is that a copper vein? Or just a really big rock? Just a big rock, like Dwayne Johnson. I will explore this entire landmass. It's been 30 minutes. It's been... What were some of the other things that they... some of the other things that they unveiled for Hearth and Home besides the... there are 4 attachments to the cooking station that they're introducing. 10 new cooking recipes. They're adding onions as a food that you can grow, apparently, which is cool, because currently, food-wise, you can only grow carrots and turnips. So onions kind of make sense. I would have liked to see potatoes, because those are, like, really versatile, and you can kind of grow them in any conditions, really. There's going to be new building pieces, but they specifically mentioned, like, dark wood roofing, which I guess is going to be, like, a more sturdy roof type instead of a thatch roof. That actually has like shingles that I imagine it's going to be made either out of fine wood, most likely fine wood, but it might also be made of core wood or some combination of those. And latched windows that you can open and close instead of using doors to do that. Cool thing about the windows too is that you'll be able to use theoretically that same window to like make like a small gate. Yeah, I'm hoping they build more on like the use of like the animals that you can domesticate in the game too. If you look at the animals that you can tame in the game right now, there's boar, wolves, and lox, which are basically like oxen. So they're like 3 archetypes of animals that you would want to tame. So the 3 archetypes, you have boar, which are just animals that they're basically slaughter animals, cattle that you can keep, tame them, breed them, kill them when you need their meat or their hide. The wolves are more like companion animals. They're animals that you should or would want by your side in combat. And then the lox are beasts of burden, kind of like horses, where you would imagine their use would be in labor somehow, whether it's like powering machines potentially, or like carrying extra, like pulling a cart or something like that. Lox drawn buggy. I would settle for that too. What I want to see them do is I want to see them introduce more animals in different biomes. So like when you think about cattle animals that you could keep, the boar is a good start. If they added cow of some kind, that would be really cool. Cows and chickens. You can also tame bees technically, but it's a little bit different. I think having a chicken coop would operate similar to the way that you can currently build beehives, where you can just build it and kind of forget about it. You might need to like add food to it at some point. And then for cows, you could have like a milking station where if you put barley or some kind of grain into that station, it draws the cow, and then while the cow is feeding, the station produces milk that you can use for other, or not necessarily milk, but like cream, essentially. And the way that would work is like, maybe like you would add cows to like the base, like some very specific regions of the meadows biome. And then for companion animals, wolves, I think are a pretty great start. I'm not really sure what other, like maybe some sort of like mountain lion type companion. And then for beasts of burden, introducing like horses, and then maybe even letting you tame drakes eventually. That would be like a super end game thing. But then like those would have different uses too. Whereas like you would use a lox probably to pull a cart, but you would use a horse to travel faster. I think goats rather than cows would be good. Yeah, and it would also make a lot more sense. You could put the goats in the mountain biome. And they would at least like compete with the wolves up there. You could put goats in the mountain biome, and then maybe even taming birds. I mean, I mentioned chickens before, but like taming ravens as companion animals, I think would also be really helpful. It would offer you certain benefits. Like if you have a wolf as your companion animal, obviously those will help you in combat. But if you have like a bird as a companion animal, they can like alert you to whether or not you're close to an enemy, or if there are resources nearby or something like that. He's like, look, Dad, I'm doing your job. I'm talking on camera. There must be chaos. What is it that Cartman says in South Park? He's like, look, man, I don't make the rules. I just write them down and make sure everyone does what I say. I shouldn't be that worried. I'm overgeared for this kind of area. Don't need a ton of bone fragments. Bone fragments? You can use them to build and upgrade some armor, but it's all armor that you outgrow it very quickly. The jewelry and stuff that you pick up, you can sell it to the trader that travels through the game. There's only one. He's really hard to find. You can sell it to him for gold, which you can use to buy certain items that otherwise you wouldn't have access to. Oh! I must ask you a question. That is everything I had time to edit from the last Valheim stream that we did. If you guys want to watch me play video games, especially playing Valheim, I live stream those every Wednesday, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. EST over on my Twitch. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I see you in the next video or the next live stream.